Hi everyone. This is for Mitchell and you. It's basically me torturing you. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's very long, but I just want to get to the good parts. This is Marguerite's chapter 5 of Breaking Dawn, Isle Esme. I don't like you, Mitchell. Let's go. Let's just start with this. I skipped like 10, 11 pages. I looked across the low ripples, black in the darkness, searching for him. He wasn't hard to find. Amidst what? You're in the fucking ocean. There's nothing out there. It's not like he can be hiding behind something. He stood, his back to me, waist deep in the midnight water, staring up at the oval moon. So there's a moon out, and you were like, Where is my Edward? Where is he? The pallid light of the moon turned his skin a perfect white, as opposed to the off-white, clearly substandard white he is at all other times. Like the sand, like the moon itself, and made his wet hair black as the ocean. He was motionless, his hands resting palms down against the water. The low waves broke around him as if he were a stone. I stared at the smooth lines of his back, his shoulders, his arms, his neck, the flawless shape of him. The fire was no longer a flash across my skin. It was slow and deep now. It smoldered away all my awkwardness, my shy uncertainty. I slipped the towel off without hesitation, leaving it on the tree with his clothes, and walked out into the white light. It made me pale as the snowy sand, too. I couldn't hear the sound of my footsteps as I walked to the water's edge. Why? It makes sound. You're not... Okay. But I guessed that he could. Edward did not turn. I let the gentle swells break over my toes and found that he'd been right about the temperature. It was very warm, like bathwater. I stepped in, walking carefully across the invisible ocean floor, but my care was unnecessary. The sand continued perfectly smooth, sloping gently toward Edward. I waded through the weightless current till I was at his side, and then I placed my hand lightly over his cool hand lying on the water. Hand, and hands. Beautiful, I said, looking up at the moon, too. It's all right, he answered, unimpressed, because Edward is an asshole all the time. He turned slowly to face me. Little waves rolled away from his movement and broke against my skin. His eyes looked silver in his ice-colored face. Ice-colored? I'm imagining his skin is the color of an ice cube right now. Ice-colored? He twisted his hand up so that he could twine our fingers beneath the surface of the water. It was warm enough that his cool skin did not raise goosebumps on mine. But I wouldn't use the word beautiful, he continued. Not with you standing here in comparison. Wouldn't it be cool if Bella just projectile vomited all over in the ocean? I promised we would try, he whispered, suddenly tense. If I do something wrong, if I hurt you, you must tell me at once. Don't be afraid, I murmured. We belong together. I was abruptly overwhelmed by the truth of my own words. The moment was so perfect, so right, that there was no way to doubt it. His arms wrapped around me, holding me against him, summer and winter. Get it? 'Cause she's hot and he's like a big ice cube. I felt like every nerve ending in my body was a live wire. That sounds painful. Incredibly painful. Forever, he agreed, and then pulled us gently into deeper water. The sun, hot on the... Oh, that's right. You don't ever find out that it actually happened. The sun, hot on the bare skin of my back, woke me in the morning. Late morning, maybe afternoon, I wasn't sure. Everything besides the time was clear, though. I knew exactly where I was. The bright room with the big white bed. Brilliant sunlight streaming through the open doors. The clouds of netting would soften the shine. I didn't open my eyes. I was too happy to change anything, no matter how small. The only sound were the waves outside, our breathing, my heartbeat. I was comfortable, even with the baking sun. His cool skin was the perfect antidote to the heat. Lying across his wintry chest, his arms wound around me, felt very easy and natural. I wondered idly what I'd been so panicky about last night. My fears all seemed silly now. His fingers softly trailed down the contours of my spine, and I knew that he knew I was awake. I kept my eyes shut and tightened my arms around his neck, holding myself closer to him. He didn't speak. This is porn without the porn. His fingers moved up and down my back, barely touching it as he lightly traced patterns on my skin. Um, I would have been happy to lie here forever, to never disturb this moment, but my body had other ideas. I laughed at my impatient stomach. It seemed sort of prosaic to be hungry after all that had passed last night. That, no, literally not how you use prosaic. No, not at all how that word works. Like being brought back down to earth from some great height. I don't think you understand. No. What's funny, he murmured, still stroking my back. The sound of his voice, serious and husky. Husky. So should I say it like, what's funny? Is that husky enough? I don't know. I don't think I have a particularly husky voice. To answer his question, my stomach growled. I laughed again. You just can't escape being human for very long. So funny. I waited, but he did not laugh with me. Slowly, sinking through the many layers of bliss that clouded my head, slowly came the realization of a different atmosphere outside my own glowing sphere of happiness. I opened my eyes. This whole time she had her eyes closed. The first thing I saw was the pale, almost silvery skin of his throat. Silvery, it's icy, it's wintry, it's arctic tundrish. It's tundrish. The arc of his chin above my face, his jaw was taut. I propped myself up on my elbow so I could see his face. He was staring at the frothy canopy. Frothy? He was staring at the frothy canopy above us, and he didn't look at me as I studied his gray features. His expression was a shock. It sent a physical jolt through my body. Edward, I said, a strange little catch in my throat. What is it? What's wrong? What's a catch in your throat? You have to ask. His voice was hard, cynical, because he's an asshole all the time. My first instinct, the product of a lifetime of insecurities, was to wonder what I had done wrong. And now the text will support the fact that I did everything wrong. What are you thinking? He whispered. You're upset. I don't understand. Did I? I couldn't finish. His eyes tightened. How badly are you hurt, Bella? The truth. Don't try to downplay it. Hurt, I repeated. My voice came up higher than usual because the word took me so by surprise. He raised one eyebrow, his lips a tight line. I made a quick assessment, stretching my body automatically, tensing and flexing my muscles. It could be a gay porn. There was stiffness and a lot of soreness too. It was true. Hey. Okay, sorry. But mostly there was the odd sensation that my bones had all become unhinged at the joints and that I had changed halfway into the consistency of a jellyfish. It was not an unpleasant feeling. So it was a pleasant feeling. Just say it's a pleasant feeling. And then I was a little angry because he was darkening this most perfect of all mornings with his pessimistic assumptions. Why would you jump to that conclusion? I've never been better than I am now. His eyes closed. Stop that. Stop what? Stop acting like I'm not a monster for having agreed to this. Edward, I whispered, really upset now. She's really upset now. He was pulling my bright memory through the darkness, staining it with his ice tundra chin neck. Don't ever say that. He didn't open his eyes. It was like he didn't want to see me. Look at yourself, Bella, and then tell me I'm not a monster. Wounded. Shocked. I followed his instruction unthinkingly and then gasped. What had happened to me? I couldn't make sense of the fluffy white snow that clung to my skin. It's not snow. Why would you describe it as snow? Snow is cold. You would know what snow is. Does she literally not understand how snow works? She lived in Washington. Not that Washington snows everywhere. But anyway. Why am I covered with feathers? I asked, confused. He exhaled impatiently. I bit a pillow. Or two. That's not what I'm talking about. It just started pouring outside. Because this is sad. This is a sad moment. You bit a pillow? Why? Look, Bella. He almost growled. He shook my hand very gingerly and stretched my arm out. Look at that. The whole biting a pillow thing. It was Stephanie. No, she was obviously unaware of what the whole biting a pillow thing means. Usually the person who's being penetrated rather hard and violently is the one who bites the pillow. So I don't know what's... That's just gay me talking, but... Anyway, maybe Edward got pegged. That's probably a thing. And he probably thinks he's like a super special straight person because of it. Anyway, this time I saw what he meant. Under the dusting of feathers, large purplish bruises were beginning to blossom across the pale skin of my arm. My eyes followed the trail they made up to my shoulder and then down across my ribs. I had pulled my hand free to poke at the discoloration on my left forearm, watching it fade where I touched and then reappear. It throbbed a little. So lightly that he was barely touching me, Edward placed his hand against the bruises on my arm, one at a time, matching his long fingers to the patterns. I mean, could he just... How do you not know what you're... How does... I mean... Anyway. Why am I... Oops, excuse me. I just had a hiccup. It's a somatic reaction to this. Oh, I said. Oh. I tried to remember this, to remember pain, but I couldn't. I couldn't recall a moment when his hands had been too tight, his hands too hard against me. I only remembered wanting him to hold me tighter and being pleased when he did. I'm so sorry, Bella, he whispered while I stared at the bruises. I knew better than this. I should not have. He made a low, revolted sound in the back of his throat. Which is like, what? Like... Something like that? I'm more sorry than I can tell you. Then just tell her. Or are you physically unable to? He threw his arm over his face and became perfectly... So he was like, I'm more sorry that I could have... Oh, wait, did he make the... So he's like, I'm sorry. Like... I sat for one long moment in total astonishment, trying to come to terms, now that I understood it, with his misery. It was so contrary to the way that I felt that it was difficult to process. The shock wore off slowly, leaving nothing in its absence. Emptiness. My mind was blank. I couldn't think of what to say. How could I explain it to him in the right way? How could I make him as happy as I was, or as I had been a moment ago? He touched his arm and he didn't respond. He's like a petulant child. He's like a fucking child, I swear to God. Where's my... I need some goddamn chapstick. A fucking child. You should not be having sex with anyone. I wrapped my fingers around his wrist and tried to pry his arm off his face, but I could have been yanking on a sculpture for all the good it did to me. How is it attractive, being with the sculpture? Doesn't it hurt? How do you cuddle with stone? Ice tundra stone. Edward. He didn't move. Edward. Nothing. So this would be a monologue then. I'm not sorry, Edward. I can't even tell you. I'm so happy. That doesn't cover it. Don't be angry. Don't. I'm really... Do not say the word fine. His voice was ice cold. If you value my sanity, do not say that you are fine. But I am, I whispered. Bella, he almost moaned. Don't. So if he almost moaned, what did he, like... So a moan would be like... What kind of moan? Because it would be a sexual one, like, Bella... Or like singing like, Bella... There's so many kinds of moaning. So he's like halfway there, like, Bella... Or something? No, you don't, Edward. He moved his arms. His gold eyes twitched. His gold eyes watched me warily. Don't ruin this, I told him. I am happy. I've already ruined this, he whispered. You know why I hate this so much? Because it's all about, like, he cannot trust or believe that she enjoyed herself. It's so terrible. Why would you marry and spend the rest of your life with someone this dense and terrible? I heard his teeth grind together. Ugh, I groaned. Why can't you just read my mind already? It's so inconvenient to be a mental mute. His eyes widened a little bit, distracted in spite of himself. That's a new one. You love that I can't read your mind. Not today. He stared at me. Why? I threw my hands up in frustration, feeling an ache in my shoulder that I ignored. My palms fell back against his chest with a sharp smack. Whack! Because all this angst would be completely unnecessary if you could see how I feel right now. Or 5 minutes ago anyway. I was perfectly happy. Totally and completely blissed out. Now, well, I'm sort of pissed actually. You should be angry at me. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your face up. Shut it up forever. Well, I am. Does that make you feel better? He sighed. No, I don't think anything could make me feel better now. That, I snapped, that right there is why I'm angry. You are killing my buzz, Edward. Don't ever say that phrase, Stephanie Meyer. Don't ever say it. He rolled his eyes and shook his head. Ugh. What is fucking Queen? He needs to shut up. I took a deep breath. I was feeling more... I don't even care about this. Awesome. Did you expect this, Bella? Were you anticipating that I would hurt you? Do you know how sex works? There's no way the first time you can have sex, it doesn't hurt. That's the... Were you thinking it would be worse? Did you consider the experiment a success because you can walk away from it? No broken wounds? Does that equal a victory? I hate all these people. The worst part, I have to read a Jacob chapter next. I don't remember which... Oh, it's that one.